Alright guys, we're going to get started with our landscapes. Here's an example of one that I created in the past. This is my Square One art piece, and I created a landscape with this windmill in it. It's got a foreground, middle ground here, and then background area here. And then this one I did a frame in it. Today I'm going to show you how to get started and be successful with your artwork. Alright, everybody's going to get a piece of paper like this. It's going to have your name right here on the top. Don't color or write or draw anything up in this area. Down here is where you're going to put the artwork. Now the first thing you need to decide is, do you want to frame or not? If you do want to frame, I do have one of these templates that you set right on top. So it's a little cardboard. Set it right on top carefully. Make sure it's all lined up. You're going to take a pencil and you're going to trace on the inside. Go like this, right around, and this will get you a frame to get started. And I recommend it, but you don't have to do this in your work. Alright, once your paper's set up, you got to make sure you have a good idea to get started. If you don't have an idea, what you could do is go back and look through your sketchbook. What did you do last time? What did you practice? Did you come up with a good idea there? Or maybe you want to use one of these other ones to kind of change and make it your own. Also, we have a packet of ideas that you could look through that are step by step. So this is a great place to look as well if you're looking for some ideas. Now once you're ready for the drawing parts, you're going to start with a pencil. And I like to have a nice sharp one, and we're going to go very lightly with our lines. We're not going to get it dark because we might make some mistakes when we first start. So I call it a whisper line is what we're going to do first of all. So we're going to make lines that you can just barely see, but if you make a mistake, you could definitely get rid of them and try something else. So I'm going to start off with my landscape here, and the one thing I like to do is just kind of find out where some of those horizon lines are or the hills are. So I'm just going to lightly come in. You might not be able to see it on the screen, but you might see just a little bit, just right in there. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw this in very lightly, and then I'm going to show you kind of how it turns out here in the end. Alright guys, I was able to work on my landscape here. It took about 15-20 minutes to lightly draw it in. If I made any mistakes, which I did make a few mistakes, I was able to go in and use my eraser to kind of take those away if I didn't like them. So that's why it's very important that you use your pencil first. Okay? Now that I have all the pencil lines drawn in, now I could start to go into Sharpie or a black permanent marker. Okay? So we have two different kinds here at Big Creek. We have the ones that have red tape on it. I put red tape on it so you could identify which ones have the really small tip on it. So as you can see here, I'm going to put it up really close. You can see that it's really tiny, and you can do extra fine lines. So these are really good for like areas right in here for outlining. When you do this part, you got to be very careful. Slow down, because this is permanent, so you cannot erase this, and it's really kind of hard to cover up mistakes once you start on this part. So make sure all of your pencil lines are done before you start on this. Okay? So I could just go right over top with this ultra fine one to make sure I have nice, bold, clean lines. We also have the regular ones. These are fine points, but they'll give you a thicker line, which I'll show you here how much thicker. So like right here, this could work on the building here, but as you can see, they're definitely thicker and quite a bit bolder than the other lines. I'm going to go ahead and work on this and show you what it turns out like. Alright, I just finished up with my outlining of my farm landscape. Just to check again, I have a foreground, that's the fence. Middle ground is the barn, and then the background is that sky area, and then the sun going down there. If you get this far today, one thing I like to do is take an eraser, and I'll just go right over top, and I want to get rid of all those pencil lines so I won't see them again. And then next time, we'll be ready to start adding the color.